at exactly 2:08 a.m., completely alone. My phone vibrated violently with a live alert, living room camera active, and in that moment, dread hit me hard. The notification wasn't delayed, it was happening now. I opened the feed expecting nothing, but my breath caught. A shadow slowly stretched across the wall. Unnaturally long, bending wrong, and I realized instantly, something unseen was already inside, moving carefully, watching silently. I whispered excuses to myself, blaming shadows and angles, until it shifted again, aligning perfectly with my couch, too precise to be random, freezing my body as panic whispered one truth. This thing understood space and intent. Then the impossible happened. The shadow peeled off the wall and floating freely, pausing midair, and for one unbearable second, I swear it rotated slightly, as if adjusting its gaze, deciding whether I noticed. My hands shook, reaching for my phone. When the shadow collapsed into the hallway entrance, I blocking escape, not rushing, not attacking, just waiting there patiently, letting fear tighten my chest, like panic would paralyze me for it. From the corner, my cat hissed violently at empty air, fur raised, eyes locked on nothing, and certainty replaced denial. Animals don't imagine threats. Whatever stood there was real, alert, and fully aware of us. I whispered, "Who's there?" Silence stretched too long. Then the shadow slid closer, silently gliding across the floor, matching my breathing perfectly, like it was syncing itself to me, learning how I worked. Everything stopped suddenly. The shadow vanished. Hope sparked briefly, until I saw it reflected in the kitchen glass behind me, standing impossibly close, disappearing again before I could turn, proving it could move without traveling. My legs refused commands. The hallway stretched unnaturally long and the shadow returned, taller now, blocking the path, breathing when I breathed, waiting deliberately, like it wanted fear to ripen before acting. I crawled toward the door, inch by inch, when my phone vibrated again, live motion detected. From the same room trapping me, and horror crystallized. The camera was watching me, from inside. The hallway lights flickered weakly. The shadow shrank, then lunged halfway forward, stopping just short, teasing distance, studying how close it could get, before my mind fractured completely, savoring control, not violence. Every step backward I took, it mirrored flawlessly. Slower, deliberate, and truth settled heavily. Speed wasn't necessary. It owned the room, the angles, the AIR itself, and I was simply allowed to exist. Stumbling into the living room, I watched it sink into the couch corner and spreading across the wall, and then it happened. The shadow curved upward, a smile, calm, certain, like it knew the ending already. I ran for the kitchen, fell hard. Cabinets reflected the shadow everywhere at once, not chasing, not rushing, surrounding me calmly, turning the house into a body, and me into something trapped inside. I grabbed a knife, hands useless as it drifted closer, sinking with my breath, teaching me a horrifying truth. Weapons are symbols of resistance, and resistance means nothing to something that doesn't need to touch you. Locked inside the bathroom, shaking uncontrollably, my phone lit up by itself. The living room feed showed the shadow seated calmly on my couch, staring into the camera, waiting, not searching, waiting for me. I glanced at the mirror and froze. It stood behind me now, not touching, not moving, just watching confidently, because it understood something terrifying. I wouldn't turn around. Fear had already decided. Backing toward the window. I saw it outside, impossible, flickering slightly, as if experimenting, testing whether terror worked better from within the walls or beyond them, proving boundaries were meaningless. The front door refused to open. The shadow filled the doorway, thin, towering, then vanished instantly, leaving the house silent, too silent, the kind that presses inward, reminding you noise was proof of safety. Lights flickered back on. It was sitting closer on the couch, leaning forward slightly and my phone buzzed. Live, feed active, like it wanted me to keep watching, reminding me it controlled what I saw, and what saw me. I screamed into the empty house, as it slid through furniture effortlessly, and realization hit hard. This place wasn't haunted. It was occupied. The walls weren't hiding it. They were accommodating it. Hidden beneath blankets and the ceiling darkened, the shadow stretched downward, whispering my name softly, lovingly, like it had practiced long before tonight, revealing something worse than threat, familiarity. Then it withdrew, sat calmly again, because it didn't need to hurt me. Watching was enough. Fear ripens when observed, and it understood patience better than hunger. Survival wasn't the goal. Awareness was. My phone showed me asleep on the couch, the shadow standing over my body, and comprehension shattered me. This wasn't the first time. Just the first time I noticed. The feed had always been active. Morning sunlight arrived briefly, falsely comforting, until I saw it still there, unchanged, leaning forward, proving daylight wasn't safety. It was just light. And light never stops something unbound to shadows. I fled the house immediately, but in my car the phone lit again. Live feed showing the same couch, same shadow, unmoved. Distance meant nothing. Leaving wasn't escape. It wasn't attached to me. It was attached to the place. From a hotel room that night, I checked once more. It remained there, and somehow I knew. It was aware of my breathing through the screen, proving surveillance doesn't require proximity. Attention is the only doorway. I changed cities, destroyed cameras, erased accounts, but the feed still appears, the same couch, same shadow, and same posture. That's when I understood it wasn't bound to technology. Technology was how it chose to be seen. If you're watching this alone, check your phone, because it doesn't follow people. It waits in places. And the moment you look, really look, you become part of the cycle. Attention is the invitation. I'll never open the feed again, but every night it turns itself on, showing the shadow sitting perfectly still, waiting patiently. Not for me, for whoever believes watching is harmless. Curiosity always wins.